Well, welcome back to LCARA Ham Radio in our Hamvention 2022 coverage. And this time we had to drop by the ARRL booth and talk to Mike, W8ZY, about several things clubs can be doing to help themselves out. That's what's coming up next on LCARA Ham Radio. Alrighty, I'm KY4 BDP Brian for the Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association, and we're with Mike again. Mike is W8ZY. I always forget the ZY part, but pretty cool call sign. One of the reasons we like this to interview Mike is he is with the ARRL, and specifically clubs.
Clubs, I'm the field services manager.
Field services manager.
So I've got clubs and section managers, and my job is to herd the cats.
And I'm sure that's exactly what it is. Mike, at this year's Hamvention, what are a couple of things that you're emphasizing for clubs?
What we're doing, we have 3 different programs that we're talking about for clubs right now. One is the club grant program, and we talked about that in Orlando last time. The club grant is up to $25,000 that they can apply for, and there is a website on the ARRL website. You look for the ARRL Foundation, and then there's a link to the club grant program. Second is we have a new thing called the Club Health Checkup, and it's a list of ideas that clubs can look at and say, oh, we're doing this, but we're not doing this. And it's all about things like outreach and student demonstrations and CW training and satellites and all kinds of stuff. Yep. And it gives them an opportunity to think about, these are other things that our club can do. And the third thing we're doing is we have just relaunched the affiliated club commission program. So ARRL affiliated clubs can now earn a little more money to sign up ARRL members and do renewals. And we've streamlined the process a little bit. We've made it easier for the clubs. So a club signs up a new ARRL member, they can make $15 for the club. They sign up a renewal, they make $5 for the club.
Right.
If you have a club that has a fair number of members, you're leaving money on the table, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
So those are the 3 things that we're pushing here at Dayton, and welcome everybody to Hamvention, and hope they last minute here come see us.
Well, and we sure hope they do.
I do too.
One of the things that you showed us yesterday, I think it was that checklist like you were talking about. Yep. And one of the things that I thought was really novel about that was we have so many clubs out there today where the common refrain is, so many of our members are aging out, and the club's getting smaller and smaller, and it's on its last gasp. And it does take some leadership, and it would take somebody to take that checklist and say, what are some things we can do? And I would like to think you would agree, but I look at a checklist like that as, it's like the old African proverb, you can't eat an elephant in one bite. You've got to do things in steps, baby steps. And what I like about that checklist is you can start whittling them down, but you don't have to feel like you have to do them all at one time.
And we organized the checklist, somebody made mention of it this morning, is the checklist is basically organized in what you would think of as your committees in the club.
Right.
Education, outreach, meetings, events, things like that. So it gives them an opportunity to pull all of those together.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then one more plug for the grant program. This is for clubs, and only for clubs.
Only for clubs.
You don't have to be a 501c, but that helps.
You don't have to be a 501c3, and you do not have to be an ARRL affiliated club.
Okay.
So it's open to all amateur radio clubs across the country.
Right. There's maybe a little more paperwork if you're not an affiliated club, or no?
No.
Okay.
Paperwork's all the same.
All the same. And if I remember correctly, there's essentially 3 forms for the grant program that...
Yeah, when they go to the website, they'll find 3 forms that will show them, one's called the project narrative, which basically walks through what are you going to use the money for and how are you going to do it.
Right.
Second is a project budget, and these are all templates that we ask people to use so that when we compare, that we're comparing apples to apples. And the third one is a project timeline. So we're going to give you money. What are you going to do with it, and when are you planning on doing
Right.
it?
And there's follow through as well. So the
Absolutely.
ARRL is following up with each of the clubs that gets a grant on that time frame.
Correct.
What kind of progress are you making? Not as a micromanagement kind of thing, but more of a, yeah, we gave you money. We would like
Yeah.
to see it being used.
Plus, we are asking clubs that get the grants to work with the league and help us do things like social media and marketing around the idea of this is what we got our grant for, and here's
Right.
what we're doing.
Right.
And let us show that to other folks.
Understood. Mike, thanks so much for giving us a little bit of your time
No
today.
problem. Thanks a lot.
73.